Who's doing? Hello and welcome. You tune into Baina Salam, Ankita Saxena, and I have Ashisha Adrayu with me. And in the next 1 hour, we'll take all your questions and get them answered by experts. Keep sending in your questions on the number that's flashing on top of your screens. Send in your stock query, the buying price, and the holding period, and we'll get them answered by our experts. But first up, let's take stock of how the market is shaping up. Ashisha, it was a decent start, but we have managed to inch higher. In fact, on the Nifty, we have managed to cross the 25,200 levels. On the Nifty, we are up more than 0.5%. Nifty Bank also in tandem. In fact, the Nifty Bank saw a sharp recovery. There was a sharp dip coming in, and then a sharp recovery that came in, almost a V-shaped recovery coming in for Nifty Bank. From the day's lows, Nifty, is up almost 170 odd points. It's trading with gains of 156 points right now. Broader markets is where the action is. Small caps is trading up more than 1%. Mid caps also trading with gains of 0.4%. So really, small caps is the outperforming sector here right now. As far as the sectors are concerned, Nifty Media is the top sectoral gainer with gains of 1.6%. Nifty IT and FMCG are also trading with gains of 1%. Nifty Realty is the only pack that is trading in the red with cuts of 0.1%. That is how the sectoral indices are panning out. And if you look at the market breadth, largely the market breadth is turned in the favor of advances. And if you look at India VIX, also India VIX is also seeing a cool off of almost 3.3%. It's now below 14. It's 13.19 is where India VIX stands. That's a cool off in India VIX also coming in. Titan is of course the top Nifty gainer on the back of a positive brokerage note coming in, and a couple of brokerage notes that are powering a lot of other stocks as well, like Nuvama is also powering India Mart, that is doing very well. Macquarie's note of an outperformance Titan is buoying sentiment for Titan as well, and a couple of other brokerage notes like Nuvama on HUL and Citi on MGL. These counters are in focus on the back of that. So action coming in on the back of a lot of brokerage notes there, Ashesha. So that's how the construct of the market looks like.
Well, absolutely turning out to be another good day for the Indian markets, Ankita. But let's get started with all your queries. But before that, let's introduce the guests who are joining us on the show, who will answer all your stock-specific queries for the next 1 hour. On the fundamental side, we have Shahina Mukaddam, independent analyst. And on the technical side, we have Hemen Kapadia now joining us. Thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. But Hemen, coming to you first then for the market setup. A strong day for the Indian markets, and as Ankita was just highlighting, Nifty has now crossed that 25,200 mark, and strong footing for Bank Nifty as well. On the index level, what will your short-term view be on both Nifty and Bank Nifty?
A very good morning to you, Ashisha. Thank you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure. We spent 7 weeks. This is the 7th week, Ashisha, as far as the Nifty is concerned. 24,500, 25,200. 7 weeks and counting. This time around, yes, you're right. We are about 25,200. That's a level to watch out for. Ideally, we need a closing above Friday. But we're still on Wednesday. But the way the setup is, I believe we're heading towards this breakout coming in. So setup is good, and after 7 weeks or 6.5 weeks, if it breaks out, Ashesha, I think 25,800 is the first expected target. Not a very short term view, but yeah. Now, as long as we remain about 25,078 from a shorter term point of view, things are positive. Like I think Ankita also mentioned, the VIX is below 14, which is great for bulls. As far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, made a new high, gave a breakout, posted a fresh all-time high, cooled off, and is back on track again. And if you look at the three big Nifty, Bank Nifty constituents, I guess I think Kotak and HDFC and ICICI Bank. Kotak Bank and HDFC Bank are set for breakouts along with Axis. So I believe above 57,000, we are going to give another 1,000-1,500 points of an upside. As far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, setup is good, VIX is down, everything is hunky-dory, mid-cap, small caps participating. So it seems, okay, expiry, that is a problem, but I believe that we are heading for further upside.
I mean, thank you so much for those views coming in on the market and the levels to be watching out for. But let's get started with all the questions then, all the questions that you have sent us. Let's get them answered by our experts. Let's take the first question. It's coming from Sugumar, who's from Chennai. He's holding 1,000 shares of Bank of India at a buying price of 135 rupees. He wants to know if he should be holding it or should he switch for a better name. Can you please suggest, Shana, let me get you on board as well. What's your view?
Yeah, Bank of India, you can continue to hold at current levels, though the stock has given you a decent bounce from the lower levels. Valuations are quite attractive. If you look at price to book, it's just about 0.7 times price to book, and balance sheet quality also has been improving. So it is a hold from current levels, and I believe you can see a bounce back to about 130.
Okay, so you could see a bounce back above 130. That's the view coming in on Bank of India. But the next question is for you, Hemin. We have Shaurya, who has written to us from Gurgaon. He is holding 50 shares of IRCTC at an average price of 802. He's been holding on for quite some time, and he's asking whether he should continue holding on or sell out of this position. IRCTC, what will the technical view be?
Okay, Ashesha, it's been more than a year of an underperformance. Technically, I put it as a downtrend. Having said that, I have some good news for him. Intermediate bottom is in place. Support comes in at 740. We will gain momentum only once we overcome this 800, 820 congestion area. So I believe from a medium term point of view, worst is over. Simply put, the investor can hold on, have some more patience. Safety sake, keep a small stop loss at 740, positional stop loss at 7110. Keep the levels in mind, 800, 820. Once that is clear, I think intermediate uptrend in place and further upside would be a distinct possibility.
All right, so that's the view coming in on IRCTC as far as the technical charts are concerned. Shaina, let me come to you now. This is Venkatesh, who's writing from Indonesia. We have international guests as well, Ashesha, people writing in to us. There he holds 15 stocks of Mascao Docs. He's bought it at a price of 2,575 rupees. He wants to know at what rate can he add more. Now, very interesting, Shaina. You know, these defense counters, names like Mascao Docs, they have already run up so much. Do you think the valuations are a little stretched here? Do you see more upside? Because the defense names continue to be in the news on the back of the geopolitical tensions, also the order wins, but the valuations are very, very stretched at this point. What do you see for Mascao Docs? Do you see more steam left? Should he be adding more?
Mascot Dock, along with the rest of the defense pack, has seen some bit of correction post the settlement of the, some bit of softness, settlement coming on the global scenario in terms of geopolitical, the conflicts that are going on. Having said that, I think Mascot Dock, I agree with you, it's pretty expensive, but the order book is very strong. They've got a good order book position, and I believe that going forward, while valuations are expensive, these are stocks that you hold for the longer term. You can you can keep a stop loss if you like, close to about 3,000 rupees. But this is a stock you could hold for at least close to 3,400, 3,450 type of levels in the medium term. So it's a hold as of now.
Okay, so hold rating coming in for Mascao Dog, but we have a query for both of you. Hemendra has written to us from Ahmedabad. He has purchased about 8,000 shares of IDBI Bank at an average price of 86 rupees per share. He purchased it for the long term, but he is asking for a fundamental and a technical view. Hemen, coming to you first, what will your view be on IDBI Bank?
I'd say a hold. I'm basically positive on the banking sector as a whole, private and public. I think public sector banks have a lot more to contribute in terms of price movements. Hold, we need a close above 105, above which things should start looking technically better. Support comes in at 88. Hold.
Shahina, what will your view be on IDBI Bank?
I would agree. I would say it's a hold at current levels. If you see the deposit level of IDBI Bank, it's more than 2,80,000 crores. So any M&A activity that will happen, I believe would be positive for IDBI Bank, even if they were to delist or whatever it is, because the government does have a huge holding in IDBI Bank. And after Yes Bank, I think, IDBI Bank, some sort of a M&A is on the cards. So, and plus, if you see the balance sheet quality, it has improved substantially over the years. Valuations are not very expensive on the price to book basis also. It's just about 1.83 times. So, I would believe that the stock, having bottomed out at current levels, can give you a decent upside from here, so you can hold.
All right.
Answer all your stock specific queries, and turning out to be another good day for the Indian markets. Nifty above that 25,200 mark, and Bank Nifty also is holding up well in the green above that 56,580 odd mark. Several sectoral indices continue to trade with gains, but let's get going with all the queries that you have sent, and our experts are with us. And B. Soumya has written to us from Chennai. Now, this particular viewer is bought Vodafone Idea at an average price of 12 rupees per share and GNFC at 660 rupees per share. He is asking for a short to medium term view on both Vodafone Idea and GNFC. Hemen, what will your view be? Should he hold on to his positions or exit out of them?
Ashesha, I'd say exit Vodafone because 5 years counting, nothing has happened. Okay, yeah, his view is more of a shorter term point of view. Yes, short term bottom in place, overcoming the 55-day exponential moving average, medium term technical turnaround. I believe the worst is over from a short and medium term point of view. But this, it's been looking like this for 5 years. Nothing happened. So I'd say sell on bounce. As far as GNFC is concerned, looks good. We are on the cusp of commencing an intermediate uptrend. It's a very clear hold, supported 548, 530. Can expect targets of 580, 610. This is probably a 4 to 6 week point of view, Ashisha.
All right, that's the view coming in on GNFC. But Shaina, coming to you, this is Ramesh who's writing in from Coimbatore. He has 1,000 shares of IIFL Finance. He's bought it at a price of 409. What's your view on IIFL Finance? 409, he has made his profit, but what would be your view?
I believe that at current levels, IIFL Finance is a whole. If you look at valuations on a price to book basis, it is not too expensive, 1.69, 1.7 times price to book, which is good. Also, in terms of investor interest, it is coming back into the stock after some bit of a lull, where we had some issues regarding NBFCs. In terms of performance, the company has done pretty well in the fourth quarter, and I expect going forward, things should be stable given the fact that RBI has, cut rates, and it should be a positive for NBFCs.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on IIFL Finance. But we have Char who has written to us from Madurai, Tamil Nadu. This viewer has question on two stocks. One is Cochin Shipyard. He has been holding 95 shares at an average price of 1621, wants to add on to his positions. And the second is on Reliance Industries. Hemin, what will your view be? Technical view on both Cochin Shipyard and Reliance Industries.
The view would be positive on both, Ashisha. I'll just go in detail. Cochin is in an intermediate uptrend, brilliant run up. Long term, it is in a cool off. I mean, the stock goes from 200 to 3,000. Obviously, there's going to be a period of time and price retracement. We would term it as consolidation. So that's what it is doing. So if the investor has some patience and outlook of at least a year or more, I think then you need to hold. Yes. And as far as Reliance Industries is concerned, a lot of relative strength. It's on the verge of overcoming the 1461 level after 6.5 weeks. So I believe further upside towards 1540 can be an expected target. Simple answer, hold to both.
All right, moving on then, Aniruddha is writing from Pune. He wants to know about, he's bought NHPC at a buying price of 82 rupees. Is it expected to go up in the next, he wants to know about next couple of trading sessions or in the next week. So, Hemen, perhaps you'll have to take this question on NHPC.
Okay, next couple of trading sessions, fine. But a couple of things, it has to overcome these are cash levels. It has to overcome the 86.50 level NHPC and close above it for this to happen in the next 3 trading sessions or so. In case that happens, you can expect something closer to 89. 85 is rock solid support. If that doesn't hold, then the above the earlier analysis does not hold water.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on NHPC. But we have a question from Aniruddha Pune. She was asking the previous question as well. She has a follow-up question on Bharat Dynamics. She's asking if the rally is over for the near future. Hemen, what will your technical view be for Bharat Dynamics?
Well, one leg of the rally is over, Ashesha. The whole rally is not yet over. Once again, I just repeat a little bit. 900 to 2100, Ashesha, in 4 months, you have to give it some time. So having said that, we need a closing above 2000 to resume this uptrend. But simple answer, rally is not yet over. But yes, there could be little more consolidation before it resumes the rally.
All right, moving on to the next counter. This is coming in from Augustine, who's writing from Kochi. He's bought 1,000 shares of ABFRL at a buying price of 79 rupees. He wants to know if he should be holding this stock. Shaina, ABFRL, just yesterday I think they had, plans of investing some 300 odd crores every year into the business. Going ahead, what do you see for ABFRL?
Well, ABFRL, it is not one of my topics in the segment. In terms of valuation, also, it is quite expensive. And if you look at performance, I think while there are good plans, and after the demerger, there is a bit of consolidation happening there. But at the same time, I think I would prefer some other stock in the retail space. Even I would prefer a trend over ABFRL at current levels, given the fact that even Trent is available at reasonable valuations after the correction. It's expensive, of course, but after the correction, it looks like it will stabilize at current levels. So that would be my preferred bet if I was to select in the sector.
Okay, so Aditya Birla Fashion Retail and Trent, several stocks that we discussed. The next question is also for you, Shahina. Rajiv has written from Kolkata. He is asking for your opinion on ITC and whether it is a good time to enter into this for a medium to long term, so 3 to 5 year time frame. ITC, what will your view be?
ITC, I would believe that in terms of valuation in the FMCG space, it is attractive. With good monsoons in the agro space, also, it is going to do well. After the demerger of the ITC hotels, the other segments are picking up. They are doing well in the FMCG space. So all these things put together, it is not a stock that gives you that rally, one-way rally. It consolidates for a long time before actually you get that rally. I personally holding it for a long time, and I would say if you want to invest, yes, you can invest, but then keep a at least 1 to 3 year time frame to hold the stock.
By our experts. The number is flashing on top of your screen. Keep sending in your questions with the buy price and the holding period, and we'll get them answered by our experts. Let's get started yet again then. This is Hemant writing in. This question is from Mr. Heman, as he writes. He wants to know about Oberoi Realty, which he holds 100 shares of 1,890 rupees. He wants to know if he can add more. What is your outlook for another year? Heman, this is for you.
I have a positive view in the entire realty sector, Ankita. Oberoi is not an exception. So hold, and I think the more point is add, but it's had a run up from 1520 to 2000. So give it a little bit of a decline. 1880 and 1822 possible levels to buy, but yes, I think you can add, and if you don't want to add, hold for a year. I believe on a fresh all-time high is in the offing. The entire realty pack looks pretty good, Ankita.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on Oberoi Realty, but we have Satya who has written to us and she's asking for a view on Aarti Industries for the next 12 to 15 months. In fact, not just Satya, several other queries have come in for Aarti Industries. Shahina, what will your view be for the longer term and how is the company fundamentally placed?
I think the chemical sector is starting to look up again, and RT Industries, after having that correction, is again now starting to bounce. In terms of valuations, also, it is reasonable at current levels. So, at current levels, one can hold for the medium to longer term.
All right, so that's Aarti Industries. But coming to you again, Himin, this is Sunita Rai who's writing from Bangalore. She wants your view on Bank of Baroda and Jio Finance and best levels to enter these counters.
Okay, little bit of repetition, positive on banking sector as a whole, even more on PSU banks. Levels to enter for Bank of Baroda, 236, 230, 226. I believe 226 might not come looking at the positivity in the market. Geo, relatively less data. Entry level would be 295, 279. About 306, I think it should start looking better.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on Jio Financial Services and several other stocks. The next question is for you, Shahina. We have Bharatwaj, who's written to us from Coimbatore. Now, he's looking to buy NCC at the current market price. What will your long-term view be? He's saying that he can hold it for 2 to 4 years. So, NCC, what will your fundamental view be?
Yeah, in terms of fundamentals, I believe they've got good order books. Order book position is strong. In terms of valuation, valuation is not too expensive at current levels, just about 2 times price to book. They have got good orders across the board. I would say you could continue to hold. You can keep a stop loss. Keep a stop loss close to about 210, and you can hold for a target of close to about 245 for the medium term.
All right, so that's NCC. But next counter coming to you, Himen, is Arun, who's writing from Chennai. He wants to know about NTPC. Could you please tell the entry levels and the target price for the next 6 months? And this is for NTPC.
Okay. If I can slightly sidestep the question and be more comfortable giving the target from a 1.5 year point of view. But anyways, entry level is 320 and 310. I don't think there's too much of a downside. 6-month target would be approximately 370. Longer term target would be 400.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on NTPC. We have Professor Thomas George, who's writing to us from Cochin. He has a question on Praj Industries. He's holding about 500 shares at an average price of 500 rupees per share. Shahina, what will your view be on Praj Industries?
Well, I think it is better to switch from Praj Industries at current levels, because while the stock had corrected and it is giving a little bit of a short-term bounce, but I would believe that in terms of the performance, fundamental performance, while the turnover has actually gone up, but in terms of profitability, I think it is consolidating. So I would say that in terms of valuation, also it is a bit on the higher side. I would switch.
All right, so that's the word coming in on Praj Industries. Now, this is by Sri, who's writing from Bangalore, wants a short-term view for BHEL, has bought at a buying price of 260 rupees, 1,000 shares. Please suggest a short-term target for BHEL, Himen.
Okay, short-term target probably would be at least a couple of weeks, Ankita, from my point of view. And if that is the case, short-term target would be 269 and 281.
Understood. So that's the queries, and let's get going then. Radhakrishna has written to us from Bangalore. This viewer is asking for your view on ITC Hotel for a period of 6 months. Himen, what will your view be? We already discussed ITC Hotel, but what will your technical view be on this particular counter?
Well, firstly, a small caveat, Ashesha. This is a 6 month of listing, so I have a paucity of data. So keep that in mind when I'm giving the view. Having said that, we've been consolidating for the past 6 weeks. This is the 6th week now. Setup is technically positive. We remain safely ensconced in an intermediate uptrend. So a close about 224 should trigger off roughly 8 to 10% upside. Looks positive. Support comes in at 218, 210, 206. Looks good, but 224 needs to be taken out.
All right, moving on then to the next counter. Thomas George is writing from Cochin. He holds 100 shares each of Coforge and Persistent System. He wants to know if he should sell any of them and which one if he has to sell any one of them. Shaina, tell me about this entire IT pack, especially the mid-cap IT pack. Coforge in specific has been doing very, very well. So from here on, do you see there is more steam left there? Should he be holding on to it? What do you see on Persistent System?
Yeah, in the smaller IT companies compared to the large ones, I think Coforge, Persistent, Emphasis, these all three look good. If you're holding it for the medium to longer term, the overall business sentiment and the the orders, the deal pipeline for all of three of these companies are strong. So you could take your pick. You can create a portfolio, and you can hold it for the medium to longer term. They are starting to do much better. I think FY26 will be a much better year compared to FY25.
So that's the view coming in on Persistent Systems and Coforge and several other mid-cap IT stocks that we discussed. But Dr. Zeenat Kausar has written to us from Ranchi, Jharkhand. She's asking whether it is the right time to invest in Cipla for the short to medium term. Hemen, Cipla, what will your view be on this pharma counter and whether it is the right time to enter into this stock?
The time is right, but it hasn't done much over the past 6, 7 months, Ashesha. So I would take thing with a little bit of pinch of salt because her outlook is short to medium term. I think medium term would be more like it. Support comes in at 1480, 1460. One can buy at current levels for a target of 1540. If it closes above 1540, 1570 seems possible. Technically, it's ticking all boxes, but for some strange reason, Ashesha, it hasn't done nothing for 6 or 7 months. So it's sort of, there's no trending bias, but the undercurrent is bullish.
All right, so that's the word on Cipla with an undercurrent of bullish trend. But coming to you, Shaina, this is Akhil who's writing from Delhi. He says that he has a direct equity portfolio. He says he has 10 lakhs to invest in direct equity. He wants you to suggest him 4 to 5 stocks for the next 3 to 4 years. He wants to double his investment. So now, Shaina, this is a question that all of us have, stocks that would double your investment. But from next 3 to 4 years perspective, what would be your picks?
Yeah, so I would look at some stocks which are to some extent India dependent, because I think the growth will be driven a lot locally. So we'll start across. You can pick up a couple of stocks across segments. So, for example, we discussed ITC hotels. I would believe that this is one segment that will do well in the longer term. Secondly, you can look at something in IT. Again, we discussed. You could look at some say something like a Persistent or even a TCS in the large cap IT stocks. In FMCG, you could take your pick. Actually, we discussed ITC valuation is just about 25 times multiple. So you could look at that. You could look at Geo Finance in the financial space at 300 rupees. I think a lot. There is a lot that is happening in terms of growth that is possible. They are getting into the mutual fund segment. You could look at the metals. You could look at something like a Nalco, which is a PSU. You could look at something like a Hindalco in aluminium. Of course, defense. I don't want to leave out defense. The valuations are expensive, but here I think a lot can happen in terms of growth, given the fact that as they continue to improve their execution, the order book is huge. So there is no question of them able to actually grow over the next 3 to 5 years. So you could add something like BEL, you could add something like HAL, you could add something like in the shipping, as you're showing, Cochin Shipyard looks good. So I think you can make a portfolio of stocks. I don't want to forget market related. You have NSE IPO, which is likely to happen over the next 1 year. I'm personally invested in BSE, NSE. You could look at something in the capital market space. So you could make a portfolio of about 10 to 15 stocks and hold it for the next 3 to 5 years. I believe you will do pretty well. You will outperform the market.
Okay, so those are some of the stock specific ideas coming in, fundamentally strong companies that you can invest in for the longer term. Suresh has written to us from Kerala. He is holding about 200 shares of Federal Bank at an average price of 192. He is asking whether he should buy more at this point in time. Himen, what will your view be on this particular company, Federal Bank?
Ashesha, buy more, close about 215, should take it to 240. We remain in a short, medium, and long-term uptrend. This long-term uptrend has been in motion for the last 5 years and counting. Buy more, target 240 and more.
All right, with that, we're completely timed out in this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. Shaina and Himen, thank you so much for taking the time out and taking all the questions and answering them. Thank you so much for joining us. And well, from 1.5 degrees Celsius to now 2 degrees Celsius, international pledges to contain global warming has been yielding very little. While India is amongst the world's top greenhouse gas emitters, third to China and USA, without the implementation of nationally determined contributions and strong COP agreements, global net zero goals will remain out of reach. For India, COP30 is a platform to push for climate justice and secure the finance and support needed to fulfill its net zero ambitions. Cutting through the jargon, join us on 27th of June, Times Network India Climate Summit, where global leaders discuss India's place in the global climate agenda. And well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. Ashish and I will take your leave. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere because markets at noon take the action forward.